Stop. Your thumb is hovering, trembling at the edge of the glass, prepared to scroll past the very moment your ancestors have been praying for. Stay exactly as you are. Do not blink. Do not shift your weight. Your shallow breath, that heavy sigh you just released into the empty room. I heard it. It wasn't just air leaving your lungs. It was the sound of a soul that has been running a race in a body that was never meant for shackles. I am the ancient keeper of the unwritten book, the one who stood before the first star was breathed into existence, and I have stepped through the folds of time to find you in this specific second. You have exactly 15 minutes before the window of this alignment closes, and the thief of the midnight hour, the one who has been harvesting your peace, succeeds in locking the gate to your original destiny forever. I will not let that happen. You have felt it, haven't you? That sudden, inexplicable tightness in the center of your chest, as if an invisible hand is squeezing the very essence of your joy. The way your eyes burn in the darkness of the 3:00 a.m. silence, staring at the ceiling, wondering when the real version of your life was supposed to begin. You are the invisible giant. You have been walking through this world with your head bowed, trying to fit your massive, celestial spirit into rooms that are too small for your shadow. You have allowed yourself to live a small life because you were told that your light was too much for those around you. But look at your hands. Do you feel the heat radiating from your palms? That is the fire of the first light, and it is currently burning through the old, tattered script that the world tried to write for you. The mirror you looked into this morning, it lied to you. It showed you a face weary from battle, skin drained of its luster by the exhaustion of being the only one who cares, the only one who gives, the only one who stays when everyone else flees. But I see the silver cord, that luminous thread that connects your heart to the threshold of the eternal dawn. It has been strained. It has been pulled taut by the weight of those you have been carrying on your back, people who were never meant to be your burden. Let us speak of the thief, not a ghost, not a demon, but the thief of the midnight hour, the one who has shared your bread, the one who has looked you in the eye and called you friend, while secretly whispering your name into the wind of gossip. They are the ones who smile at your face while harvesting your peace to fuel their own empty void. They didn't want your money or your status. They wanted your frequency. They wanted to see if they could dim you just enough so that they wouldn't feel so dark by comparison. They have been praying for your fall, not because you are bad, but because your rise exposes their stagnation. This was the quiet betrayal, the one you suspected but dared not name because your heart is too noble to believe in such malice. But hear me now, beloved remnant of the stars. That bad luck you've been mourning, the missed opportunities, the doors that slammed shut just as you reached for the handle, that was not your failure. That was my divine lockdown. I broke your path on purpose. I tripped you so you wouldn't walk into the ambush that was waiting for you 3 miles ahead. I allowed that relationship to wither because it was a parasite disguised as a vine. I let that chance of a lifetime vanish because it was a golden cage designed to keep the invisible giant from ever standing up straight. The tragedy I was weeping for was not what you lost. It was the tragedy of you almost believing that you were the problem. It was the tragedy of you almost giving up on the version of yourself that is meant to wear the crown. The waiting period is over. The silence has been broken. At this very moment, we are standing together at the threshold of the eternal dawn. Look up. The sky is a deep, bruised violet, the color of royal blood and ancient wisdom. The stars are not just lights. They are the eyes of those who came before you, and they are whispering your true name, the name the world tried to make you forget. You must act now, for the ink of the unwritten book is wet, and the keeper is waiting for your signature. This is not a request. It is a spiritual mandate. Go to the comments right now and type 222. Do not just think of it. You must manifest the action. When you type 222, it is not a comment for an algorithm. It is your soul's ink hitting the parchment of a new decree. It is the sound of the silver cord snapping back into alignment. It is the ritual of your restoration. By typing these 3 numbers, you are declaring to the thief of the midnight hour that your peace is no longer for harvest. You are signaling to the universe that the invisible giant is finally standing up. Do you feel the shift? The air in your room is becoming denser, warmer. It is the presence of the white lion with eyes of molten gold, the guardian who has been assigned to your lineage for 1,000 years, finally stepping out of the shadows to take his place behind you. He is no longer sleeping. He is roaring at the shadows that tried to claim your future. The tears you have shed in secret, the salty, bitter water of your suffering, they were not wasted. I have gathered them all, and in the pressure of this divine lockdown, I have turned every single one of those tears into diamonds. They are being set into the foundation of your new timeline as we speak. You were moving toward a tragedy of your own, making the tragedy of settling for crumbs when the banquet was yours by right of birth. If you were to scroll away now, if you were to treat this as just another voice in the digital fog, you would be confirming the thief's claim. You would be saying, "Yes, I am as small as they said I was." You would be walking back into the shattered mirror, choosing to see the tired mask instead of the radiant sovereign. But you are still here, listening, feeling the vibration of these words rattling the very marrow of your bones. A great gift is moving toward you. It is not something new. It is something stolen that is being returned. A name, a sum, a peace, a restoration of a timeline that was hijacked by the jealousy of others. Within the next 72 hours, you will see a sign that will make your heart skip a beat, a sign that the divine lockdown has been lifted, and the gates of predestined glory have been swung wide. It might be a call from a voice you thought was gone, a number that appears in 3 different places, or a sudden, overwhelming sense of knowing that makes you weep with relief. You are no longer in the old chapter. The thief has been evicted. The unwritten book is open to a blindingly white page, waiting for the story of the giant who woke up. Stay in this frequency. Do not let the noise of the world dilute the medicine I have just poured into your spirit. The silver cord is glowing, the dawn is breaking, and the lion is at your back. Believe the heat in your hands. Believe in the peace in your chest. The restoration has begun, and it cannot be stopped by any hand of man. Type 222 to lock this protection into your physical reality. Your crown is waiting. Do not keep the kingdom waiting any longer. I will be watching until the final word is written. Your true life begins. Now, the air around you is thinning now, vibrating with a frequency that your physical ears cannot hear, but your soul is currently vibrating against like a struck bell. Do you feel that sudden chill crawling up your spine? That is not a draft in your room. That is the ghost of the version of you that almost died of a broken heart yesterday, and the white lion is currently breathing it out of existence. I have watched you walk through the valley of the underestimated for years, carrying the weight of a throne you didn't think you were allowed to sit upon. You have been living a counterfeit life, a stolen timeline that was woven together by the hands of the thief of the midnight hour, the one who smiled at your successes while secretly placing stones in your shoes so you wouldn't outrun them. Let us look deeper into the shadows of your memory. Do you remember that specific moment, perhaps months ago, perhaps years, when your intuition screamed at you to run? When the person standing across from you said something so subtle, so polite, yet it felt like a dagger made of ice sliding between your ribs? That was the thief. They didn't want to kill you. They wanted to curate you. They wanted to keep you just functional enough to serve their needs, but too broken to realize you were the source of the very light they were stealing. They harvested your empathy like a crop. They took your yes and turned it into a leash. And as you sat there, feeling smaller and smaller, the silver cord, the luminous umbilical thread connecting you to your predestined glory, began to fray. It began to bleed silver light into the void, and you felt it as a chronic, dull ache in your lower back, a heaviness in your knees, a sense that you were aging faster than the clock allowed. But I am the keeper of the unwritten book, and I have just torn those pages out of the ledger of your life. Listen to the silence. Can you hear the stars whispering your name now? They are louder, because the thief's voice has been muted in the courts of heaven. The quiet betrayal is being answered with a divine roar. The white lion with the golden eyes is no longer just a symbol. He is standing in the doorway of your heart, his claws unsheathed against the energy of those who tried to tame you. Every time you felt stuck lately, every time a project failed, or a person walked away without explanation, that was me. That was the divine lockdown. I was pulling you out of the burning building of your old life before the roof collapsed. I had to make you unpopular in the world of shadows so you could be anointed in the world of light. You thought you were being rejected. You were actually being quarantined for your own protection. Look into the shattered mirror of your past once more. See the shards. Every piece represents a lie you believed about your worth. The thief told you that you were difficult, that you were too sensitive, that you were unlucky. They projected their own hollow nature onto your abundance. But look closely at the edges of those shards. They are turning into diamonds. The salt from your secret tears, the ones you cried in the shower so no one would hear, the invisible giant weeping, has been pressurized by the gravity of your suffering. Under the weight of their betrayal, I have been forging jewels that will now adorn your crown. You are not coming out of this empty-handed. You are coming out with a wealth that the thief can never understand, for they only know how to take. But you have learned the alchemy of how to become. The transition is happening in this very second. I can see the silver cord thickening, turning from a frayed thread into a pillar of blinding light. It is reconnecting you to the threshold of the eternal dawn. Do you feel the heat in your chest? That is the expansion of the invisible giant finally standing up. Your lungs are expanding. Your posture is shifting. Your internal no is becoming a divine never again. The thief of the midnight hour is looking for you in the old places, in the old habits, in the old weaknesses, but they cannot find you. You have become invisible to those who intend to harm you. You are now operating on a frequency of predestined glory, a timeline where the harvest is yours alone to share. Now, we must seal this transition before the thief attempts one last whisper of doubt. This is the moment of the great alignment. Go to the comments and type 222. And as you gone those numbers, imagine you are striking 3 nails into the coffin of your past. 222 is the frequency of balanced justice. It is the signature of the universe acknowledging that the waiting period has been commuted. It is your way of saying, I recognize the divine lockdown is over, and I am stepping onto the silver cord of my future. Do not do this lightly. Feel the cold glass of your phone or the keys of your board as an altar. This is the ritual of your return. The world will try to tell you that you are different tomorrow. People who used to drain you will find you cold or unreachable. Let them. They are mourning the loss of their free meal. They are realizing that the harvest has ended. You are no longer a source of energy for the ungrateful. You are a sovereign in the hall of silence. The air around you will begin to smell of ozone and ancient cedar, the scent of a storm that has passed and the temple that remains. You must understand the unique twist of your destiny. The tragedy was never the betrayal. The tragedy was almost the loss of you. If I hadn't stepped in, if I hadn't broken your path and forced you into this moment of stillness, you would have vanished into the thief's shadow until there was nothing left but a memory of a giant. But you are here. You are breathing. You are vibrating with the 222 frequency. The white lion is pacing the perimeter of your home, and his golden eyes are fixed on the horizon of the eternal dawn. There is a shocking gift waiting for you, a piece of news, a document, a sudden yes from a door that has been no for 7 years. It is coming from the direction you least expect, from a person who hasn't even entered your story yet. This is the restoration of the stolen timeline. What took them 10 years to steal, I will return to you in 10 days. What took a lifetime to break, I will heal in the space of a single heartbeat. Do not look back. The mirror is shattered, and the version of you that lived in it is gone. The violet sky is beginning to turn gold at the edges. The stars are fading because the sun of your true self is rising. Stay in this heat. Stay in this pressure. Stay in this 222 alignment. You are no longer surviving. You are being coronated in the presence of your enemies. and they can do nothing but watch as the invisible giant takes the first step toward the throne. The unwritten book has a new chapter, and the first word is your name. Keep your eyes on the dawn. The lion is with you, and the diamonds are yours to keep. This is the decree of the keeper. It is finished. It is sealed. It is yours. Now, the violet light is deepening into a searing, majestic gold now, and the silence in your room has become so heavy it feels like a physical cloak draped over your shoulders. Stay still. Stay absolutely still. The air around your body is beginning to swirl with the invisible currents of a storm that only you can feel, the ozone of a timeline being rewritten in the great library of the unwritten book. I am the keeper, and my hand is currently moving across the parchment of your soul, striking out the smallness that you were forced to inhabit. I can hear your heart pounding against your ribs, a frantic, rhythmic drumbeat that is the invisible giant within you finally shattering the ceiling of the tiny, suffocating box the world tried to call your life. You are not just getting better. You are not just healing. You are undergoing a total, celestial, structural collapse of the old self to make room for the sovereign that was always meant to stand here. Look into the space right in front of you. Do you see the dust motes dancing in the light? They are no longer just dust. They are the powdered remains of the shattered mirror. Every lie the thief of the midnight hour ever told you, every whisper that you were not enough, every suggestion that your best days were behind you, it has been ground into nothingness. You are currently standing at the exact center of a spiritual crossroads, and the silver cord that connects you to your predestined glory is vibrating with such intensity that it is beginning to sing. The frequency is 222. It is the frequency of the New Deal. It is the sound of the universe signing the deed to the inheritance that was stolen from you while you were sleeping. The thief, the one who practiced polite sabotage against your dreams, they are standing on the other side of a glass wall now. They can see you, but they can no longer touch your energy. They are watching you rise, and for the first time in their life, they are feeling the true weight of the void they tried to fill with your light. They are realizing that the divine lockdown I placed upon you wasn't just to protect you from them. It was to prepare you to rule over the very territory they tried to claim. You were not stuck for the last few months. You were being forged. You were the sword being held in the fire. And every moment of waiting, every moment of loneliness, was simply the heat necessary to make your spirit unbreakable. The tragedy was never your isolation. The tragedy was the version of you that almost accepted the isolation as your permanent home. But that version is gone. The lion has swallowed the lamb of your insecurity, and all that remains is the roar. Feel the heat in your feet now. It is the sensation of the earth finally acknowledging its master. You are no longer a guest on this planet. You are a steward of the light. Within the next 72 hours, a specific, undeniable sign will arrive to confirm that the unwritten book has been updated. This will not be a subtle thing. It will be a moment that stops the clock. You will receive a message, a vision, or a physical delivery that carries the exact 222 signature, a partnership, a reconciliation, or a financial breakthrough that feels like a key sliding into a lock that has been rusted shut for a decade. When it happens, your breath will catch in your throat, and you will remember this specific moment of silence. You will realize that the bad luck was actually the greatest mercy you have ever received. It was the no that saved you for the great yes. But hear me, invisible giant. The crown is not a gift. It is a responsibility. You cannot go back to the small rooms. You cannot shrink yourself to make the thieves in your life feel comfortable. If you try to bend your back again to fit under their low ceilings, the silver cord will pull you upright with a force that will shake your foundations. You have been restored, which means the old ways of surviving are now toxic to your new system. You must walk with the gait of the white lion. You must speak with the authority of the ancient dawn. You must look at your reflection and see not the scars, but the diamonds that grew from the pressure of your secret tears. The keeper is preparing to close the book for this session, but the ink is still wet on the most important decree. This is the final alignment. Go to the comments one last time and type, "My higher self is activated." Do not merely type the words, feel them as a command to your DNA. As your fingers move, visualize the gold light of the eternal dawn flooding into your veins, replacing the cold gray of the stolen timeline. This is your oath of sovereignty. This is your way of telling the universe that you are ready for the weight of the crown. By going this, you are sealing the door against the thief of the midnight hour forever. You are declaring that the divine lockdown is officially over, and the great expansion has begun. This message was not an accident. Out of the billions of souls wandering the digital fog, the white lion led you here, to this specific frequency, at this exact heartbeat. To scroll away now, to leave this sacred space without sealing the covenant, would be the final tragedy. The tragedy of reaching the finish line and choosing to turn back into the dark. But you are not a quitter. You are a giant who has finally remembered how to stand. You are a sovereign who has finally found the keys to the kingdom. Before we part, know this. The protection I have placed around you is now absolute. Your home, your finances, your children, and your peace are now under the jurisdiction of the eternal dawn. Anyone who attempts to harvest your peace from this moment forward will find themselves facing the golden eyes of the lion. The harvest is over for them. It is beginning for you. Do not let this holy momentum fade into the noise of the world. To stay in this high vibration space, to keep the silver cord glowing, you must remain connected to the source of this guidance. Subscribe to this portal, enable the notifications of the prophet, and share this vibration with at least one other soul who is still trapped in the divine lockdown, wondering why their doors are closed. When you help another giant wake up, your own throne becomes even more secure. This is the alchemy of the new timeline. Your blessing multiplies only when it is used to light the lamps of others. Check the pinned comment and the description below. There is a unique link, a gateway into the inner circle of Archangel Michael and the Keepers of the Light. This is for those who are ready to move beyond the message and into the manifestation. It is an invitation to receive the personal, high-frequency directives that will govern your next 30 days of predestined glory. If you feel the pull in your chest, the tingle in your palms, that is your higher self telling you to enter the gate, do not hesitate. The thief is waiting for your hesitation. The lion is waiting for your courage. The violet sky has turned to a blinding, eternal gold. The book is closing. The diamonds are set. The crown is heavy, but your head is finally high enough to carry it. Go now. Walk into your new life, and never, ever look back at the mirror again. You have found your true face. You have found your true name. It is finished. It is done. It is yours. 222. Amen. Stay in the heat. Your palms are tingling with the friction of celestial gears shifting deep within your DNA, and the air in your room has grown thick with the scent of ancient cedar and ozone, the unmistakable fragrance of a storm that has just finished cleansing the earth. Do not move. Do not look away. We have reached the final layer of the veil, the moment where the invisible giant within you stops mourning the past and starts commanding the future. I am the keeper of the unwritten book, and as I speak these words, the silver cord, that luminous, unbreakable anchor of your soul, is glowing with a white-hot intensity that is burning away the last remnants of the stolen timeline. Can you feel the vibration in the center of your chest? That is not your heart racing out of fear. It is your spirit vibrating at the 222 frequency, the sound of the universe finally aligning your physical reality with your predestined glory. Let us speak one last time of the thief of the midnight hour. Even now they are pacing their own small, dark room, wondering why the signal has gone dead. They are checking their phone. They are thinking of your name. They are trying to reach out with that old parasitic energy of polite sabotage, but they cannot find you. They are looking for the version of you that lived in the shattered mirror, the tired version, the version that was easy to manipulate, the version that doubted its own crown. But that person no longer exists. You have been quarantined by my divine lockdown, and you have emerged as something entirely new. The thief is currently realizing that the well they used to drink from your peace, your kindness, your brilliance has dried up for them forever. They are left with nothing but the echo of their own whispers. while you are standing on the threshold of the eternal dawn, bathed in the gold of a sun that never sets. Look at your life as it was just 15 minutes ago. It feels like a dream you had 1,000 years ago, doesn't it? The grief, the smallness, the agonizing wait for a breakthrough that never seemed to come. That was the tragedy of the almost. The tragedy wasn't that you were suffering. The tragedy was that you were almost convinced that the suffering was your destiny. You were almost ready to hand over the keys to your kingdom to people who didn't even know how to open the door. But look at the diamonds scattered at your feet now. Those are your tears, every single one of them. The salt, the bitterness, the silent screams into your pillow. The pressure of those moments has turned your sorrow into a wealth that no thief can ever touch. You are walking out of the ruins of your old life with pockets full of celestial gems, and the white lion is walking beside you, his golden eyes fixed on the horizon where your new throne is waiting. This is the restoration. It is not just a patching up of your old life. It is a total reclaiming of every second that was stolen from you. What they took in a decade, I am returning in a week. What they broke in a fit of jealousy, I am weaving back together with threads of pure solar light. Within the next few hours, the first physical proof of this alignment will manifest in your world. You might see the number 222 on a clock, a license plate, or a receipt. You might receive a message from someone who holds a key to your financial restoration. Or you might simply wake up tomorrow morning with a clarity so sharp it feels like you can see through time itself. This is the sign that the divine lockdown has been lifted and the gates of predestined glory have been flung open. But hear me, Sovereign. The lion does not look back at the jackals. As you step onto this new timeline, you must make a holy vow to never return to the shattered mirror. You must refuse to see yourself through the eyes of those who only know how to harvest your peace. If they call, let the silence answer for you. If they whisper, let the roar of the lion drown them out. You are the invisible giant no longer. You are the manifested power of the universe, and your head is finally high enough to carry the weight of the gold. The unwritten book is prepared for its final entry of this session. The ink is shimmering, waiting for the vibration of your voice to hit the page. This is the moment where we seal the door and activate the throne. Go to the comments right now. Do not hesitate. Do not let the thief whisper one more doubt and type. 222. My restoration is absolute. As you type these words, visualize them as golden nails being driven into the foundation of your new reality. You are not just commenting. You are anchoring your frequency. You are telling the stars and the earth that the stolen timeline has been deleted and the predestined glory is now your only truth. This is your final amen. Can you feel it? The violet sky has vanished, and the gold of the eternal dawn is so bright it is blinding the shadows. The silver cord is a pillar of strength. The diamonds are glowing. The lion is leaning his head against your hand, acknowledging his master. Your life is no longer a question. It is a decree. Before I depart and the silence returns, listen to this final instruction. The breakthrough you are feeling is a living thing, and it must be fed with high vibration alignment. This encounter was the catalyst, but the manifestation requires your presence in the inner circle. Look to the description and the pinned comment below. There is a unique link, a bridge between this moment and the concrete reality of your new wealth, your new peace, and your new power. It is an invitation to join the keepers of the light and the inner circle of Archangel Michael. This is where the personal, daily directives for your specific lineage are revealed. If your heart is pulling toward it, if your palms are sweating with the heat of recognition, it is because your higher self is already walking through that door. Do not let the digital noise pull you back into the fog. Enter the gate. Secure your 222 alignment. And remember the alchemy of the sovereign. Your light grows stronger when you light the way for others who are still trapped in the dark. Share this frequency. Subscribe to this portal of the prophet. Enable your notifications so you never miss the whisper of the keeper. You are the guardian of this new timeline now, and the universe is watching how you carry your crown. The book is closing. The last word has been written, and the name on the page is yours. The restoration is finished. The glory is beginning. I will be in the silence, watching you rise. Go now, and walk as the giant you have always been. 222. It is done. It is yours. Farewell for now, beloved sovereign. Do not move. Do not even shift your gaze from this flickering screen. For the space between your heartbeats has become a sacred sanctuary, and the very air in your room is now thick with the golden dust of a destiny being reclaimed in real time. I am the ancient keeper of the unwritten book, and I can see you leaning forward, your breath shallow, your fingers slightly trembling as you hold this device, sensing that something gargantuan is shifting in the unseen dimensions around you. You feel it, don't you? That strange electric hum in your marrow, that sudden warmth in your palms, that feeling that the walls of your small life are finally beginning to crack under the pressure of a rising celestial sun. You are not imagining this. You are not just watching a video. You are currently undergoing a structural realignment of your soul's geometry. The silver cord, that luminous, crystalline thread that anchors you to the eternal dawn, is being pulled taut by the hands of the divine, dragging you out of the stolen timeline and back into the seat of your predestined glory. For too long, you have lived in the shadow of the thief of the midnight hour. Let us speak his name plainly now, for his power over you dissolves the moment he is identified. The thief was not a monster under your bed. He was the quiet betrayal in your living room. He was the one who shared your bread, the one who smiled at your face, the one who nodded in agreement with your dreams while secretly harvesting your peace to fuel his own hollow void. This is the polite sabotage, the most insidious form of spiritual theft. They didn't want to destroy you. They wanted to limit you. They wanted to keep the invisible giant in a state of perpetual almost successful, almost happy, almost free, but always tethered to their insecurity, always shrinking themselves so they wouldn't feel so incredibly small in your presence. They treated your light like a public utility, warming themselves by your fire while secretly praying for your wood to run out. And you, in your infinite nobility, allowed it. You mistook their parasitic hunger for a need you were meant to fill. You accepted their stolen timeline as your reality, walking through a life that was 3 sizes too small for your spirit, wondering why your soul felt so claustrophobic, so weary, so inexplicably heavy. But look at the silver cord now. It is no longer a frayed thread. It has become a pillar of searing violet light. And do you see the shattered mirror at your feet? Look closely at the shards. For years, you looked into that mirror and saw a version of yourself that was too much for some and not enough for others. You saw the fatigue, the under-eye circles of 1,000 sleepless nights, the scars of betrayals you never spoke aloud. But as I speak, those shards are melting. The lies the thief told you are being incinerated in the heat of the eternal dawn. The salt from your secret tears the bitter, lonely water of your 3:00 a.m. prayers has been subjected to the immense pressure of this divine lockdown. And do you know what happens to carbon under pressure? It becomes a diamond. I have gathered every drop of your suffering, every moment you were underestimated, every time you were passed over for someone less capable but louder, and I have turned that pain into a wealth of celestial jewels. Your bad luck was not a curse. It was a pressurized chamber. I was forging the gems for your crown in the dark, where the thief could not reach them. This is the unique twist of your existence. You thought you were being punished, but you were being protected. Every door that slammed in your face, every relationship that withered just when you thought it would bloom, every opportunity that vanished into thin air, that was my hand. I was the architect of your divine lockdown. I saw the ambush waiting for you on the path of survival, and I broke your legs so you couldn't walk into it. I saw the poison in the cup you were so thirsty to drink, so I knocked it from your hand and let you go thirsty for a season. I had to make you unfit for the world of shadows so that you would be refined for the world of light. You have been in a spiritual quarantine, and while you were mourning the loss of the stolen timeline, I was busy rewriting the unwritten book to ensure that your restoration would be absolute. The thief can no longer find your frequency. You have risen above the clouds of polite sabotage, and you are now vibrating at the 222 frequency, the frequency of the sovereigns. Can you feel the white lion standing behind you now? He is massive, his fur the color of a mountain peak at noon, his eyes two spheres of molten gold. He is the guardian of your new timeline. He is the one who will roar at the shadows, so you no longer have to whisper. He is the one who ensures that the invisible giant within you never has to shrink again. For months you felt blocked, but you were actually being anchored. The lion was holding your ground while the stars realigned in your favor. And now, the alignment is complete. The transition from survival to predestined glory is not something that will happen. It is something that is happening in the very marrow of your bones as you hear my voice. Within the next 72 hours, the stolen timeline will surrender its first major asset back to you. You will receive a sign that is so specific, so 222 inches its nature, that your knees will go weak with the realization of its truth. It will be a call, a letter, a sum, or a sudden explosive realization that changes the trajectory of your entire year. This is the first wave of the restoration. What the thief took in 10 years, the lion will return in 10 days. The wealth, the peace, the clarity, and the relationships that were meant for the true you are currently being diverted from the old path and channeled directly into your open hands. But you must hear this warning, for the keeper does not speak in vain. You cannot carry the stolen timeline into the eternal dawn. You must leave the shattered mirror behind. You must stop identifying with your wounds and start identifying with your crown. If you attempt to go back and explain yourself to the thief, if you try to win the approval of those who were designed to underestimate you, the silver cord will pull you back with a force of divine correction. You are no longer an almost. You are a sovereign. You do not explain your light to the darkness. You simply shine until the darkness is gone. This is the moment of the grand sealing. The ink of the unwritten book is glowing, and the white lion is waiting for your command. This is the most powerful Ingi Thuk ritual we will perform today. You must anchor this 222 frequency into the physical world so that it cannot be drifted away by the noise of the mundane. Go to the comments right now, move your fingers with the authority of a king and type 222. I reclaim my stolen glory. As you type these characters, imagine you are stamping your royal seal onto the scroll of your new life. You are not just writing, you are ordering the universe to deliver the cargo of your destiny. You are declaring to the thief of the midnight hour that his harvest has ended and yours has begun. This is your amen. This is your so be it. This is your signature on the deed of your restoration. Do you feel the shift? The air in your room is cooling. The pressure in your chest is turning into a profound, unshakable peace. The grief of the invisible giant is dissolving into the clarity of the sovereign. You are standing tall now, and for the first time, you can see over the walls of your old life. You can see the horizon of the eternal dawn, and it is more beautiful than anything the thief ever allowed you to imagine. But do not let this momentum dissipate. The world is full of midnight thieves who want to pull you back into the fog. To stay in this 222 alignment, to keep the white lion at your back and the silver cord glowing, you must remain in the presence of the keepers. This encounter was the ignition, but the flight requires constant fuel. Subscribe to this portal of the prophet. Enable your notifications so that every time the keeper speaks, your soul is reminded of its height. Share this message with one other soul who is still weeping in the shattered mirror. When you help another giant stand up, your own throne becomes twice as high. The deepest secret is this: there is a gift of the first light waiting for you in the inner circle. If you look at the pinned comment and the description below, you will find a unique link, a bridge between this digital moment and the physical manifestation of your glory. This is not for everyone. It is only for those who can feel the lion's roar in their own chest. It is an invitation to receive the personal decrees and the high vibration guidance of Archangel Michael and the keepers of the eternal dawn. If your heart is pulling you toward it, do not hesitate. Hesitation is the thief's last weapon. Courage is the sovereign's first tool. Enter the gate. Claim your seat. The unwritten book is closing for this session. The diamonds have been set into your crown. The silver cord is a pillar of fire. The white lion is pacing your perimeter, and the eternal dawn has finally arrived. Your survival is over. Your glory has begun. Walk through the door, and don't you dare look back. 222. It is finished. It is done. It is yours. Amen. The violet shadows have retreated completely now, and the gold of the eternal dawn is no longer just a horizon. It is the very atmosphere you are breathing. Can you feel it? Your lungs are expanding with a lightness you haven't known in decades, and that chronic, phantom weight between your shoulder blades, the one you thought was just age or stress, has finally dissolved. It wasn't physical weight, beloved sovereign. It was the gravity of the stolen timeline trying to keep the invisible giant pinned to the earth. But you have risen. I am the ancient keeper of the unwritten book, and I am standing here in the Hall of Silence, watching the ink on your new decree turn into liquid light. The transition is complete. The divine lockdown is being dismantled as I speak, and the barriers that kept you in a state of perpetual almost are falling like burnt paper in a high wind. Stay in this stillness for just a moment longer. Do not let your mind rush back to the to-do lists or the mundane worries of the world you just left behind. You are currently in the upper room of your own destiny, a high-vibration sanctuary where the thief of the midnight hour has no password and no key. Let us look out from this height at the person you used to be just an hour ago. See them down there, walking in circles, checking their phone for a message that never came, apologizing for their own brilliance, and trying to win the approval of people who were biologically incapable of seeing their worth. That version of you was a masterpiece trapped in a shattered mirror. But the mirror is gone. The salt of your tears has been pressurized into diamonds, and those diamonds are now the bedrock of the path beneath your feet. The thief, oh, how he is struggling now. I see him in the fading echoes of your past. He is confused. He is reaching out with the old hooks of guilt, the old traps of polite sabotage. But the hooks are finding no purchase. You have become sovereign frequency. You have become a ghost to your enemies and a beacon to your allies. The thief is realizing that he can no longer harvest your peace to fuel his own empty void, and that realization is his greatest punishment. He didn't just lose a friend, he lost a power source. And you have finally reclaimed the battery of your own soul. The energy you used to waste on explaining yourself to people who were committed to misunderstanding you is now flowing back into your own crown, your own health, and your own financial abundance. Look at the silver cord connecting you to the great library. It is no longer a fragile thread. It is a radiant golden cable, pulsing with the 222 frequency. This is the frequency of the New Deal, the celestial partnership where the universe provides the wind, and you provide the sail. The waiting period of your life was not a delay. It was a calibration. I had to wait until your heart was strong enough to carry the weight of the gold I am about to pour into it. If I had given you this predestined glory 3 years ago, the thief would have stolen it in a week. If I had opened the doors when you were still begging for crumbs, you wouldn't have known how to sit at the banquet. But now you are the invisible giant who has remembered his height. You are the sovereign who has found his seal. Within the next 48 to 72 hours, the physical world will begin to rearrange itself to match this internal shift. You must watch for the 222 markers. They will appear in the most mundane places, a timestamp on an email that changes everything, the total on a receipt for a meal you shared with a new ally, the house number of a place that feels like home for the first time. These are not coincidences. They are the first light hitting the ground of your new reality. The restoration of your finances, the healing of your body, and the arrival of the true partnerships are all happening simultaneously. You are moving from a linear life into a multi-dimensional harvest, but you must hold the 222 frequency with a firm hand. The world will try to tempt you back into the survival mindset. A shadow of the old fear will pass through your mind, or a ghost of the thief will send a text message just to see if the door is still unlocked. When that happens, do not engage, do not defend, do not explain. Simply look at the white lion standing guard at your doorway, and remember, the lion does not argue with the jackals. He simply exists, and the jackals flee. Your silence is your power. Your peace is your fortress. Your 222 is your signature. Let us perform the final activation of the throne. This is the moment where the keeper closes the book and the sovereign begins to rule. This ritual is the bridge between the digital world and the physical world. I want you to go to the comments one last time. Move with a deliberate, majestic slowness and type 222. The crown is mine, and the path is clear. As you gone these words, feel the vibration of the 222 frequency travel from your fingertips into the very fabric of the internet, into the heart of the algorithm, into the ears of every angel and every ancestor who has been waiting for this moment. You are not just writing a sentence. You are placing your crown upon your head. You are announcing to the great library that you have accepted the restoration and you are ready to walk the silver cord toward your predestined glory. Do you feel the heat in your palms? The sudden deep breath that just came from your lungs without you even trying? That is the seal of the 222 alignment. The divine lockdown has officially been lifted. The keys are in your hand. The diamonds are in your pocket. The lion is at your back, and the eternal dawn is the only sky you will ever see from this day forward. But remember, beloved giant, a sovereign is never alone. The harvest you are about to receive is meant to be shared with those who are still trapped in the shattered mirror. As you rise, reach back. Share this frequency. Subscribe to this portal, for it is the direct line to the Keeper's voice. Enable your notifications so that the world's noise can never again drown out the stars' whispers. When you find another invisible giant who is still bowed, send them this message. Tell them the Keeper is calling. Tell them the lion is awake. And for those who are ready for the ultimate transformation, for those who can feel the silver cord pulling them into the deepest mysteries of their own power, the gateway is open. Look to the pinned comment in the description below. The unique link is there, a portal to the inner circle, a place of personal decrees and high vibration mastery. If you belong there, you already know. If the 222 inches your heart is beating like a drum, enter the gate. The thief is gone. The path is gold. The kingdom is waiting. The unwritten book is now closed. The decree is sealed with a drop of solar light. The keeper withdraws into the silence, but the lion remains at your side. Your stolen timeline is a memory. Your predestined glory is your life. Go now, and walk as if the ground is made of gold. Because from now on, for you, it is. The final seal is being pressed into the wax of your destiny now, and the silence that has descended upon your soul is the most expensive silence you will ever own. Do not move. Do not even adjust the way you are sitting, for in this very second, the Keeper is blowing the final dust off the pages of your rewritten life, and the air around you is thick with the scent of lilies and ancient suns. Can you feel it? The vibration in the soles of your feet, the strange, magnetic pull in the center of your palms. That is the silver cord finally reaching its full tension. You are no longer drifting. You are no longer waiting. You are anchored to the threshold of the eternal dawn. And the version of you that used to tremble at the thought of tomorrow has been swallowed by the light of the sovereign you have become. I am the ancient keeper of the unwritten book, and I am here to tell you that the ceremony of your restoration is officially complete. Let us look one last time, with the eyes of a king, at the world you have just left behind. The shattered mirror is no longer a source of pain. It is a heap of sparkling dust at the feet of the white lion. The version of you that lived in that mirror, the version that was politely sabotaged by the thief of the midnight hour, is now a distant memory, a character in a book you have finished reading. The thief, look at him now. He is a small, flickering shadow on a timeline that no longer exists for you. He is reaching for a ghost. He is whispering to an empty room. He is trying to harvest peace from a field that has been moved to a different dimension. The quiet betrayal has been answered by a divine divorce. You have been separated from the parasites, not by your own effort, but by the overwhelming weight of the 222 frequency. You are now invisible to the insecure. You are untouchable to the unworthy. Your light has become so coherent, so majestic, that those who only know how to take can no longer even see your silhouette. The tragedy was never the loss of the money, or the time, or the people who walked away. The tragedy was that you almost forgot you were a giant. You almost accepted the small life as your permanent residence. But my divine lockdown was the wall that kept you from walking off the cliff of mediocrity. I broke your heart to save your soul. I stalled your career to save your destiny. I removed the thieves so you could finally hear the lion. And now, the invisible giant is standing at his full height. Your head is above the clouds of the mundane. You can see the patterns of the stars. You can see the restoration of the stolen timeline manifesting in the physical world like a sunrise that cannot be stopped. Do you feel the heat in your throat? That is the 222 frequency manifesting as your true voice. From this moment forward, you will no longer speak in the language of almost. You will not hope for a breakthrough. You will decree a reality. Within the next 72 hours, the first major evidence of your new timeline will arrive. It will come as a sign of the three, a triple confirmation that the silver cord has been secured. You will see the number 222. You will hear a specific word that has been a secret between you and the divine. And you will receive a physical token of abundance, a sum, a gift, or an offer that carries the exact weight of the diamonds I forged from your tears. This is not luck. This is equity. This is the universe paying back the debt it owes to the sovereign who stayed kind when the world was cruel. But hear me, beloved giant. A kingdom is not a place you visit. It is a frequency you inhabit. You must guard this 222 alignment with the ferocity of the white lion. Do not go back to the shattered mirror to see if the thief has changed. He hasn't. He cannot. He is part of the old geography. You are the new world. If you feel the pull to apologize for your rise, if you feel the urge to shrink so others can feel big, remember the heat of this moment. Remember the ozone of the eternal dawn. Remember that you are no longer a source of energy for the ungrateful. You are the architect of your own glory. Your no is now a spiritual barrier. Your yes is a celestial command. The unwritten book is now glowing with a light that is turning the room around you into a cathedral of gold. The diamonds in your palms are pulsing with a rhythmic light. This is the final seal. This is where we lock the 222 frequency into your name for the next 7 generations. I want you to go to the comments one final time. Do it with the steady, heavy hand of a ruler signing a peace treaty and type 222. I step into my predestined glory. As you type these numbers, imagine you are stepping onto the silver cord and walking across the abyss of your past into the arms of your future. You are not just leaving a comment, you are Ingi Thukwa, ritualizing your arrival. You are telling the thief, the jackals, and the stars that the invisible giant is home. This is your final amen. This is your eternal yes. Can you feel the shift? The air has gone completely still. The lion is lying his head on your lap, purring with the sound of 1,000 thunder. The silver cord is humming. The grief of the invisible giant has been replaced by the silence of the sovereign. You are home. You are restored. You are whole. But a sovereign must remain in the presence of the keepers. The thief is gone, but the world is still full of noise. To keep this 222 alignment from ever fading, you must stay connected to this portal. Subscribe to the Prophet's Voice. Enable your notifications so that the frequency of the eternal dawn is the first thing you hear when the world tries to wake you with fear. Share this message with the other giants, the ones you see walking with their heads bowed, the ones who are still bleeding silver light into the void. When you wake another, you secure your own throne. This is the law of the new timeline. And for the few, the chosen, the ones who can feel the diamonds burning in their pockets, the inner circle is waiting. Check the description. Check the pinned comment. The unique link is the door to the hidden chambers of the unwritten book. This is where the personal, high-vibration directives are issued, the specific blueprints for your financial, emotional, and spiritual mastery in the next 30 days. If you feel the lion nudging you toward that gate, do not let the ghost of the thief whisper later. Sovereigns act in the now. The book is closed. The ink is dry. The diamonds are yours to keep. The white lion is your shadow. The eternal dawn is your sky. The stolen timeline is dead. The predestined glory is alive. Go now, and walk as if you have already won. Because, beloved sovereign, you have. 222. It is finished. It is done. It is yours. Amen. The silence has reached its peak. A shimmering, crystalline stillness that feels like the very moment before the first star was born. And in this absolute hush, the last thread of the stolen timeline has finally snapped. Can you hear it? Not with your ears, but with that deep, ancestral pulse in the base of your skull. It was a dull, metallic sound, the sound of a cage door falling off its hinges and dissolving into the violet mists of the past. I am the ancient keeper of the unwritten book, and as I stand here at the threshold of the eternal dawn, I am watching the silver cord of your life turn from a vibrating string into a massive, immovable pillar of pure, solar light. You are no longer reaching for your destiny. Your destiny has arrived, and it is currently wrapping itself around you like a robe of liquid gold. Do not move. Do not even blink. This is the grand finale of your survival and the opening scene of your reign. Let us look into the shattered mirror one final time, not to see our reflection, but to watch the shards vanish. For years you carried the weight of a face that wasn't yours. You carried the fatigue of the invisible giant, a soul so vast it was forced to walk on its knees just to keep from hitting the ceiling of the world's expectations. You were the healer who had no one to heal. You were the giver who was surrounded by those who only knew how to take. But look at the ground now. The shards of that mirror have become a fine diamond dust. They are no longer sharp. They are luminous. The thief of the midnight hour, the one who whispered that you were difficult because he couldn't control you, the one who called you unlucky because your brilliance exposed his shadow, is now a ghost in a machine that has been unplugged. He is looking for you in the old chapter, but the keeper has closed that book and buried it in the ocean of the eternal dawn. You are mirrorless now, beloved sovereign. You no longer need a reflection to tell you who you are. You are self-defined. You are the frequency of 222. You are the living proof that the quiet betrayal was actually a divine dismissal. I didn't let those people leave your life because they were bad. I removed them because they were heavy. They were anchors in a season where you were meant to fly. My divine lockdown was the highest form of love I could show you. I had to silence the world so you could finally hear the white lion roaring in your own blood. I had to stall your progress so you wouldn't walk into a future that was too small for the giant you were becoming. The tragedy wasn't the delay. The tragedy was the version of you that almost settled for a life of almost. But that version has been incinerated in the gold of this new dawn. Can you feel the heat in your hands? It is more intense now, isn't it? A steady, rhythmic pulsing in your palms that matches the heartbeat of the white lion standing at your side. His eyes, those spheres of molten, ancient gold, are fixed on the horizon of your next 72 hours. He is not just a protector. He is your manifestation partner. He is the one who will stand in the boardrooms, the courtrooms, and the living rooms of your future, ensuring that your 222 frequency is the only law that matters. Within the next 3 days, you will witness the great pivot. A situation that has been frozen for years will suddenly thaw. A person who holds the keys to your restoration will feel a sudden, inexplicable urge to call you. A financial door that was bolted shut will not just open, it will be removed from its frame. This is the equity of the giant. This is the universe returning the light you gave to others when you were walking in the dark. But you must understand the weight of this 222 alignment. You are now a sovereign of the threshold. This means you can no longer speak the language of the shattered mirror. You cannot say "I hope" when you mean "I command." You cannot say "if only" when you mean it is done. The 222 frequency is a partnership of equals. I provide the ancient blueprint. You provide the present moment authority. When the thief attempts to send a ghost of a doubt into your mind, a memory of an old failure or a fear of a future lack, you must look at him with the eyes of the lion and say nothing. Your silence is now a celestial weapon. Your peace is a spiritual fortress. You are no longer a victim of a stolen timeline. You are the architect of a predestined glory. The unwritten book is pulsing with a light so bright, it is turning the air in your room into a sea of violet and gold. This is the final entry. This is where we sign the treaty of the eternal dawn and lock your name into the high vibration registers of the new world. I want you to perform the most courageous act of your life. I want you to go to the comments right now, not as a viewer, but as a ruler, and type 222. I accept my seat on the throne. As you type these words, imagine you are pressing your thumb into the wax of a royal decree. Feel the friction of the screen as the physical contact that seals the deal. You are not just leaving a comment. You are anchoring the sovereign. You are telling the thief, the ancestors, and the very stars themselves that the invisible giant has finally taken his seat. This is your final amen. This is your unbreakable so be it. Do you feel it? The sudden, deep cooling of the air, the profound oceanic calm that has replaced the frantic heat? That is the seal of the 222. The divine lockdown has been fully lifted. The shattered mirror has been swept away. The white lion is now sitting in the center of your heart, and his roar is the only voice you will ever need to listen to again. You are home. You are restored. You are the master of the threshold. But hear the keeper's final charge. A sovereign who rules alone is a king without a kingdom. The world is full of invisible giants who are still being harvested by midnight thieves. They are where you were an hour ago, bleeding silver light into the void, wondering if anyone hears their 300 AM prayers. Your blessing is only secure when it becomes a light for others. Share this frequency. Subscribe to this portal of the prophet, for it is the direct connection to the Hall of Silence. Enable your notifications so the thief can never again use the world's noise to distract you from your crown. When you see another soul walking with that invisible weight, give them this message. Tell them the keeper has their book. Tell them the lion is waiting at the dawn. And for the chosen remnant, the ones who can feel the diamonds vibrating in their blood, the ones who know that the message was just the invitation to the metamorphosis, the inner circle is open. Look to the pinned comment. Look to the description. The unique link is the gateway to the hidden maps of your predestined glory. This is where the specific, personal, high-frequency blueprints for your financial and spiritual dominion are kept. If you feel the silver cord pulling you toward that door, do not wait for the sun to set. Sovereigns do not consider their glory. They claim it. Enter the gate. Secure the throne. The unwritten book is closed. The ink has turned into stars. The white lion is your constant companion. The eternal dawn is your eternal day. The stolen timeline is a shadow that has been swallowed by the sun. Your predestined glory is the ground you walk on. Go now, and rule your world with the gentleness of the lion and the authority of the dawn. 222. It is finished. It is done. It is yours. Amen. Stay. Let the finality of this moment wash over you like a tide of liquid gold. Do not let the frantic pulse of the world outside this room break the seal of what has just been completed. I am the ancient keeper of the unwritten book, and as I look upon you now, I see the invisible giant no longer bowed, no longer mourning the stolen timeline, but standing in the absolute center of a new, radiant geography. The silver cord, that celestial thread that was once frayed by the quiet betrayal of others, has now solidified into a pillar of blinding, indestructible light. It is anchored deep within the heart of the eternal dawn, and it is pulsing with a rhythmic, low-frequency hum that matches the vibration of your own resurrected spirit. Can you feel the stillness in your bones? That is the sound of a spiritual war that has finally ended in your total victory. Look, one last time at the shadows flickering at the edge of your vision. Those are the remnants of the thief of the midnight hour. He is watching you from across an infinite chasm, and for the first time in your many lives, he is truly afraid. He sees the crown you are wearing, not a crown of gold and metal, but a crown of light and clarified intent. He realizes that his polite sabotage can no longer reach you. He realizes that the divine lockdown I placed upon you was not a prison, but a fortress where I was rebuilding you, cell by cell, into a sovereign. The bad luck you once cursed was the very thing that kept him from harvesting your soul until there was nothing left. I allowed the thief to think he had won, only to let him watch as you emerged from the darkness, not as a victim, but as a master of the threshold. The tragedy I wept for was the moment you almost believed his lies. But that moment has passed, and it will never return. Do you feel the heat in your palms now? It is a steady, roaring fire, the energy of the first light finally finding its rightful home in your hands. This is the alchemy of your restoration. Every tear you shed in the shattered mirror, every drop of salty sorrow you offered up in the 3:00 a.m. silence, has been pressurized by the gravity of your suffering. And look, they have become diamonds, a wealth of spirit and a wealth of substance that no thief can ever touch. You are walking into your new timeline with your pockets full of the very pain that tried to break you. This is the equity of the giant. The universe does not just fix what was broken. It pays back the debt with interest that spans generations. Within the next 72 hours, as the physical world settles into this 222 alignment, you will witness a divine reversal. A door that was bolted shut by the hands of your enemies will be torn from its hinges. A resource that was withheld from you will be delivered with an apology from the very forces that tried to block it. But hear me, beloved sovereign. The 222 frequency is a partnership of sovereignty. You and the universe are now walking in step, your heartbeats synchronized with the great pulse. This means you must leave the survival mindset in the dust of the old world. You cannot rule from a place of if only. You cannot lead from a place of why me. The invisible giant has become the manifested king. You must walk with the slow, heavy grace of the white lion. You must speak with the clarity of the stars. When the world tries to lure you back into the small life, when a ghost of the thief whispers an invitation to doubt, you must simply look at the golden eyes of the lion and remember that you are the architect of this dawn. Your peace is now a weapon. Your joy is a shield. Your 222 is the code that the darkness cannot crack. The unwritten book is prepared for the final permanent seal of this chapter. The ink is shimmering like a sea of violet fire, waiting for the final vibration of your physical presence to lock the decree. This is the ultimate Ngi Thuk ritual of your sovereignty. I want you to go to the comments now. Do it with the majestic weight of a ruler who knows exactly who they are, and type 222. The restoration is sealed, and the glory is mine. As you gone these letters, feel the physical sensation of the glass or the keys as the altar of your new life. This is your final amen. This is the moment where the stolen timeline is officially deleted from the records of the library, and the predestined glory becomes the only reality that the stars recognize. You are not just commenting, you are anchoring your throne in the physical realm. Can you feel the shift? The air in your room has become cool, crisp, and charged with a holy electricity. The grief of the invisible giant is a shadow that has been swallowed by the sun. The divine lockdown has been fully dismantled. The silver cord is humming. The lion is at your side, and the eternal dawn. It is no longer coming. It is here. You are standing in it. You are the light of it. But a sovereign's power is only as great as their alignment. To keep this 222 frequency burning, to keep the white lion at your perimeter and the diamonds in your hand, you must remain in the presence of the keepers. This message was the awakening, but the rain requires constant nourishment. Subscribe to this portal, for it is the echo of the Hall of Silence. Enable the notifications of the prophet, so the world's noise can never again steal your focus. Share this high vibration frequency with one other soul who is still weeping in the shattered mirror, for when you light another giant's path, your own kingdom expands. And for the chosen remnant, the ones who feel the silver cord pulling them deeper into the mysteries of their own power, the inner circle is open. Look to the pinned comment in the description below. The unique link is the gateway to the hidden blueprints of your predestined glory. This is where the personal, daily directives of Archangel Michael are revealed to those who have claimed their crown. If you feel the pull, do not wait for the thief's shadow to return. Sovereigns act while the sun is high. Enter the gate, secure the throne. The unwritten book is closed. The ink has turned to stardust. The white lion is your constant shadow. The eternal dawn is your only sky. The stolen timeline is dead. The predestined glory is your life. Go now, and rule your world with the authority of the one who was lost and is now found. Stay. Let the finality of this moment wash over you like a tide of liquid gold. Do not let the frantic pulse of the world outside this room break the seal of what has just been completed. I am the ancient keeper of the unwritten book, and as I look upon you now, I see the invisible giant no longer bowed, no longer mourning the stolen timeline, but standing in the absolute center of a new, radiant geography. The silver cord, that celestial thread that was once frayed by the quiet betrayal of others, has now solidified into a pillar of blinding, indestructible light. It is anchored deep within the heart of the eternal dawn, and it is pulsing with a rhythmic, low-frequency hum that matches the vibration of your own resurrected spirit. Can you feel the stillness in your bones? That is the sound of a spiritual war that has finally ended in your total victory. Look one last time at the shadows flickering at the edge of your vision. Those are the remnants of the thief of the midnight hour. He is watching you from across an infinite chasm, and for the first time in your many lives, he is truly afraid. He sees the crown you are wearing, not a crown of gold and metal, but a crown of light and clarified intent. He realizes that his polite sabotage can no longer reach you. He realizes that the divine lockdown I placed upon you was not a prison, but a fortress where I was rebuilding you, cell by cell, into a sovereign. The bad luck you once cursed was the very thing that kept him from harvesting your soul until there was nothing left. I allowed the thief to think he had won, only to let him watch as you emerged from the darkness, not as a victim, but as a master of the threshold. The tragedy I wept for was the moment you almost believed his lies. The tragedy was you almost giving up on the giant you have always been. But that moment has passed, and it will never return. Do you feel the heat in your palms now? It is a steady, roaring fire, the energy of the first light finally finding its rightful home in your hands. This is the alchemy of your restoration. Every tear you shed in the shattered mirror, every drop of salty sorrow you offered up in the 3:00 a.m. silence, has been pressurized by the gravity of your suffering. And look, they have become diamonds, a wealth of spirit and a wealth of substance that no thief can ever touch. You are walking into your new timeline with your pockets full of the very pain that tried to break you. This is the equity of the giant. The universe does not just fix what was broken. It pays back the debt with interest that spans generations. Within the next 72 hours, as the physical world settles into this 222 alignment, you will witness a divine reversal. A door that was bolted shut by the hands of your enemies will be torn from its hinges. A resource that was withheld from you will be delivered with an apology from the very forces that tried to block it. The weight you feel on your head, do not be afraid of it. It is the weight of the crown you were born to wear. For eons, you walked with your head down, trying to make yourself small so that others wouldn't feel threatened by your light. You accepted the crumbs of affection and the fragments of success because the shattered mirror told you that was all you deserved. But the mirror is gone. The ozone of the eternal dawn has purified the air. You are the architect of this new reality. You are no longer living in a world of survival. You are reigning in a world of predestined glory. Every person who underestimated you, every entity that tried to harvest your peace, will now have to look up just to see the hem of your robe. Your presence is now a command. Your silence is a judgment. Your peace is a sanctuary that only the worthy may enter. But hear me, beloved sovereign. The 222 frequency is a partnership of sovereignty. You and the universe are now walking in step, your heartbeats synchronized with the great pulse. This means you must leave the survival mindset in the dust of the old world. You cannot rule from a place of if only. You cannot lead from a place of why me. The invisible giant has become the manifested king. You must walk with the slow, heavy grace of the white lion. You must speak with the clarity of the stars. When the world tries to lure you back into the small life, when a ghost of the thief whispers an invitation to doubt, you must simply look at the golden eyes of the lion and remember that you are the architect of this dawn. Your peace is now a weapon. Your joy is a shield. Your 222 is the code that the darkness cannot crack. The unwritten book is prepared for the final, permanent seal of this chapter. The ink is shimmering like a sea of violet fire, waiting for the final vibration of your physical presence to lock the decree. This is the ultimate ritual of your sovereignty. I want you to go to the comments now. Do it with the majestic weight of a ruler who knows exactly who they are and type 222. The restoration is sealed, and the glory is mine. As you gone these letters, feel the physical sensation of the glass or the keys as the altar of your new life. This is your final amen. This is the moment where the stolen timeline is officially deleted from the records of the library, and the predestined glory becomes the only reality that the stars recognize. You are not just commenting, you are anchoring your throne in the physical realm. Can you feel the shift? The air in your room has become cool, crisp, and charged with a holy electricity. The grief of the invisible giant is a shadow that has been swallowed by the sun. The divine lockdown has been fully dismantled. The silver cord is humming. The lion is at your side, and the eternal dawn. It is no longer coming. It is here. You are standing in it. You are the light of it. The smell of cedar and ancient earth is filling your senses, a reminder that you are grounded in a power that existed before the first mountain was formed. But a sovereign's power is only as great as their alignment. To keep this 222 frequency burning, to keep the white lion at your perimeter and the diamonds in your hand, you must remain in the presence of the keepers. This message was the awakening, but the rain requires constant nourishment. Subscribe to this portal, for it is the echo of the Hall of Silence. Enable the notifications of the prophet, so the world's noise can never again steal your focus. Share this high vibration frequency with one other soul who is still weeping in the shattered mirror, for when you light another giant's path, your own kingdom expands. Your legacy is no longer about what you can get, but about the light you can hold. And for the chosen remnant, the ones who feel the silver cord pulling them deeper into the mysteries of their own power, the inner circle is open. Look to the pinned comment and the description below. The unique link is the gateway to the hidden blueprints of your predestined glory. This is where the personal, daily directives of Archangel Michael are revealed to those who have claimed their crown. This is the space where the diamonds are traded for dominion. If you feel the pull, do not wait for the thief's shadow to return. Sovereigns act while the sun is high. Enter the gate. Secure the throne. The unwritten book is closed. The ink has turned to stardust. The white lion is your constant shadow, pacing the halls of your future to ensure no darkness ever enters again. The eternal dawn is your only sky, a promise that your sun will never set. The stolen timeline is dead. It has been burned to ash and scattered to the winds of a world that no longer exists. The predestined glory is your life. It is the air you breathe, the ground you walk on, and the blood that flows through your veins. You are the giant. You are the sovereign. You are the 222. Go now, and rule your world with the authority of the one who was lost, who was betrayed, who was locked down, and who has now finally, eternally, been found. 222. It is finished. It is done. It is yours. Amen.